Stormgame. Hello everyone, today we're watching Hyy on the Celestials versus Wallace on the Infernals and on an account called the Conclave of Wallace, which is his account where he does not make any brutes out of principle because everybody considers brutes to be a little overtuned. He's not making brutes, but he's willing and able to make everything else, so we'll see what he ends up doing. Just know that there won't be any brutes out of this special rule that he's applying to himself. Hyy actually going for a fast Therium Purifier, so that's the first Morph Core. Floats on over to the main here and builds a Purifier, which immediately releases a Prism, and that starts mining his second resource. Wallace getting a second Conclave, but is not mining any Therium, so he won't be able to actually make any Gaunts until he collects that Therium, but he will start gaining the charges for Gaunts. So if there is that one base Argent pressure that he's half expecting or maybe fully expecting from Hyy, who does love to do it, then he'll be able to quickly mine some Therium and make a bunch of Gaunts and hopefully defend that. But Hyy is doing something else. He's actually got a chamber at home which he didn't use a Morph Core for. He just threw that down, and he'll also be making a third Prism here soon. There it is. So he's got full Luminite saturation and one Prism on his Therium. He's got a Starforge over here and immediately starts the Vector and immediately surges it, which of course increases its production speed by 100%. So he's pumping out these Vectors as fast as he can, very close to his opponent's natural. And we still don't have any Therium here for Wallace, so I don't know how he's going to defend this. But as soon as he sees the trouble, he's actually getting a third Shrine, so very greedy. This Vector runs in and doesn't actually see anything to target. He can't really go for the buildings. Going for the Effigy is cute. That slows down the the construction speed of that shrine. And able to get an Imp straight away. There's no answer here right now for the Vectors. A second Imp goes down. A second Vector runs in as well. He has to try and not aggro on the buildings and get into the space. And yeah, Wallace getting hard punished here. Loses 3 Imps against this very unexpected opener from Hyy. This is the first person I've ever seen do this on this patch. One base Vector used to be bread and butter for Celestials, but they changed a lot of things about the race that makes it much less strong. But you can see here, he's completely caught Wallace off guard. He's using every Imp now, and he's put it on Therium. He's got some Luminites, enough for one set of Gaunts. And he's desperately trying to get that Therium up. So complete build order win here from Hyy, who is floating a Morph Core back home as well. So he's got just the 2 Vectors here for now. The Arc Ship is nearby healing the Vectors. So on top of the damage he's doing, he's also got the healing back to make this more efficient. He can heal and then come back in. You can see though the energy regeneration of the Arc Ship isn't great, so he's only got a limited amount of heals unless he drops a surge on the Arc Ship.
Detected. A Stormgate will activate soon.
Pretty lucky Stormgate, just outside of his Vector production, does have this array, so a second base coming up for the Celestials. He's dropping this power bank. He is in red energy, so everything's happening very slowly as a result. And actually going in for a bit of a poke here. The Gaunts are good against Vectors, especially because of the Infest. The heal from the Arc Ship can't really work until the Infest is over. So you can see this Vector just had to stand there and die, and there wasn't much Hyy could do about it. He can technically just keep dropping heals on it and get 1 tick worth of healing every time, but of course it's extremely inefficient and still unlikely to actually save the Vector. The heal of course doesn't clean the Vector, doesn't stop the Infest from continuing on and doing its damage. It's just you can get 1 tick of health, 1 small amount of healing before the Infest damage denies further healing. Stormgate actually going down quite quickly to just these 4 Vectors, and we'll see what we get. We get a Pharaon, which is absolutely perfect here, because as I say, the Infest from the Gaunts, the damage over time that they cause, stops the healing from the Arc Ship, but it doesn't stop the healing from the Pharaon, which is just happy to heal up any of the Vectors that come into range. So he'll keep this here, but then he'll send his Vectors in, and then the blink cooldown will be ready for him again, and he'll just keep blinking back and getting decent trades. You can see this shrine is almost dead, so Wallace in a bit of a pickle. I mean, he's not allowed to make brutes, but do you even want brutes here? Maybe just to tank a bit? might make this slightly better. I wonder how much of this is Hyy knowing that Wallace won't make brutes. And what the game would look like if brutes were allowed. I'm really not sure they'd be that great. Did he just shoot his own vector? That would be a very uncharacteristic misclick. Yeah, he does. He shoots his own vector. Oh no. Hyy is one of the top micro players in Stormgate right now. He's very, very strong, as we'll see in a second. So shooting his own units, not the best that he's done. But yeah, I mean, even just the damage he does, he's out healing with the Feyren and the Arkship here. He's got so much healing. As long as he doesn't actually lose the vectors and does some scratches on the gaunts, he knows he can come back in. You see the gaunts are also healing, and there's quite a few of them, so overall the amount of healing, well, yeah, I mean, they're actually all on green energy, green health before Wallace gets back, Hyy gets back in there. The Feyren staying back. You don't want this to die and it doesn't get healed other than by the Arkship or these well springs, right? So he needs to be very careful with the Feyren, but otherwise just keep coming in here, killing some gaunts, running away. What can Wallace do in this situation? I mean, a tower perhaps. Wallace doing well here, actually target firing down some of the vectors. Are we going to target fire? Yeah, we target fire the heal on the Feyren as well, making sure that nothing dies from infest, and then going back and healing the other guys, the other vectors. A Weaver is here. Now, this is an interesting interaction. The Weaver can obviously pull in a vector and it's stunned once it's pulled in, so that's almost a death sentence. Well, it is basically a death sentence. So there's one vector there, but the Weaver actually goes down as well. Ay. Disaster.
Will activate soon.
Absolute disaster. Let's remember that vectors do bonus damage to light. It's +3, so it's not the end of the world if they don't hit light, but it does help. And Weavers are light and so are Gaunts. Imps are not, so they don't take the bonus damage. They removed that in one of the patches to kind of tone down how much worker harassment and worker killing was being done, because it became all about just killing each other's workers at some point there. The next Stormgate also occurring in the middle of the map, just giving... Oh, we were able to snipe a vector there, which is nice. Just giving Hyy something else to play with here. What do we end up getting? The Dinosaur, the Vile Lurker, plus 140 damage to structures and just 70 damage. You'll see it's in a big circle, so if he lands any of these hits on the Gaunts, it is disastrous. You know, it's 70 damage on a big ball of units with 75 health. So he almost one-shots an entire pack of Gaunts with this. We do see 2 imps sneaking a base for Wallace. Wallace thinking, well, there's no way I'm actually going to be able to defend it over here or over here, so the best I could possibly do is sneak a base. Big blink forward in here. Does manage to snipe a vector, but he loses the natural shrine, meaning that all of these workers are now having to long distance mine. And this is all from the damage earlier in the game. One Morph Core bites the dust there, just having a look around. Wallace thinking, okay, well, I've just lost my natural. You're probably on 2 bases, maybe 3. I'm going to go and attack. Weavers walk up the ramp. The Vile Lurker doing some decent damage there. Blink forward and back instantly gets even more Weavers. So pretty disastrous walking up the ramp there into all of the fun stuff that Hyy has hiding there. Snipes an effigy, why not? Weavers do have high ground vision, so Wallace is able to see stuff. Gets the Feyren. Oh no, but what are the Gaunts doing? Ay. As he was pulling in the key units here, he did get the lash on the Dinosaur and on the Feyren, but move commanding his Gaunts, or maybe even A-clicking them to a unit in the back there that he couldn't reach. Loses every single Gaunt there, and that spells the end. And there it is. I just wanted to show this Celestial build. Maybe it's just good on this map, maybe it's good on the other maps. I'm thinking also Edge of Oblivion being a reasonable range to traverse. Maybe not Boneyard because it's a little bit further away and it's also awkward going up on the high ground on both sides. But Broken Crown, Edge of Oblivion, this might be a cool build. Just a vector opener into a second array, and when you feel comfortable, of course, you can go for a third array, etc. So just wanted to highlight this cool strategy, show that Celestials isn't just chamber into 3 Argents or array first. It can also be vectors, still on the table, and well played to both players, especially to Hyy with some creative thinking. We haven't had this yet on this patch with the Stormgates, the Faerun adding in so much value. The Dinosaur was also kind of cool because it was mostly Gaunts that he was up against. And well played to Wallace for trying to crisis manage a very difficult situation. And that's all for me. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.